So guys, I've been in Connecticut for about 20 years now, a little over. And in that time, in the last decade and change, I bought a house. I had a pistol permit, and I've purchased a number of firearms. Those firearms include pistols, rifles, shotguns. In 2013, there was the Public Act 13-3 that got passed into law, which was the modern-day Connecticut assault weapons ban. We had an assault weapons ban up to 2013 that I can remember that required firearms, semi-automatic firearms that were able to accept a detachable magazine, could not have more than so many features. You couldn't have a threaded barrel or a flash hider or all of these other things. So I had to make a Connecticut compliant AR-15, which I did. In 2013, the law changed, and if I didn't register them by a certain time, I would become a felon. So I registered my rifles. Then I was able to purchase other firearms, literally other firearms that are not classified under Connecticut law or federal law. They were classified as other firearms. They're firearms, but they're not rifles, they're not pistols, they're not shotguns. They are in an other category. This includes a Mossberg Shockwave, a Connecticut compliant other firearm, which had an overall length of greater than 26 inches, and no stock. It had a pistol brace. And the ATF sent out a letter to SB Tactical declaring that certain pistol braces were not stocks and therefore could be used in a certain capacity. 2023 rolls around, the ATF changes their minds, they draft a new decision, and they say, hey, guys, we changed our minds. You have to either reconfigure a firearm or get rid of the stock. The thing that we're calling a stock, the brace. You have to get rid of braces. Oh, and we'll let you register your firearms that had them as short-barreled rifles under the NFA Act, National Firearms Act of 1934, and we'll let you register them. Connecticut comes out with a determination and says, hey, whatever you guys want to do, you can still have others. You can still have other firearms, but if the barrel length is less than 16 inches, it has to be compliant with federal law as well. So Connecticut did that. Now Connecticut's trying to pass HB 6667, and this is another gun legislation, another tighter, more restrictive gun law, because I guess the one in 2013 wasn't working. So now all of the people that have others are going to have to register them again, or they're a felon. And I have to tell the state that I have an other firearm, which I purchased and filled in a 4473, which went to the state and my local police and the gun shop and myself. And then I had to do a background check for that. But now I have to tell them I have it, even though they already know that I have it. And they have a database that says that I have it. Because if I don't tell them that I have it, I'm clearly doing something wrong, and they can... This is where this is all going. The only reason the government wants to know what you have is so they can eventually take it if they don't like what you're doing. That's it. This is not meant to be a rant. This is not meant to be a conspiracy thing. There have been 1, 2... So, okay, let me count them for you, and I'll explain what's going on. Prior to 2013, if I bought a AR-15, that's cool, but if I configured it in a certain way with certain accessories, the gun fired the same way, had the same bullet, same everything, same firing mechanism, but if I put a flash hider instead of a muzzle brake, if I had certain features on it, combined with other certain features, like if I put a bayonet, it's now an assault weapon. So they're trying to trick me up there. It doesn't actually make the gun any more deadly. Like, factually. There's no evidence that it makes it any more deadly. It does make it easier to shoot and easier to manipulate, but it doesn't increase lethality. Then 2013 rolls around, and if I wasn't paying attention, had I not registered, I would be a felon. Then 2018 rolls around, and there's a SAFE Act. If I'm not storing it in a proper way, I'm now a felon. 2023 rolls around federally, not Connecticut, but federally, if I don't either reconfigure my totally legally bought firearm or register it in a certain way, I'm a felon. Now, HB 6667, if that passes, which is probably going to in Connecticut, if I don't do something else, register my other firearm, I'm a felon. So there's all of these ways in the last decade and change. If I didn't do something, if I wasn't paying attention to the law as a firearms owner, I would become a felon de facto. This is ridiculous. It is absurd. It is un-American. It's unconstitutional. That's all I got for you guys. We have to contact our representatives and say, this is absurd. You need to stop. This is an infringement. You need to stop. If it's my state senator, I sent her a message on Instagram this morning. She has 900 followers. There are other people around here that have 900 followers in this state. It's easy to get that many people to magnify your voice to the point that they essentially have to listen to you. And if they don't, they're going to be out of a job very soon. We have to do this respectfully, even though we're mad. We have to do this by their rules. That's it. Understand your rights, understand when things are changing, and have an ear to the ground when it comes to legal speak. You don't have to be a lawyer, but if you have firearms, it's your responsibility to understand legally what is permitted, and then you can understand kind of in the weeds kind of where this all goes. Anyway, see you guys. If you haven't already, contact your representatives, contact your senators. If your representatives voted against HB 6667, if you're in the state of Connecticut, praise them. If they voted for it, tell them how much you disagree with their vote, and you will not be voting for them in the future. This is absurd. See you guys.